are now tuned in to my main man Dubs. If you want that garbage, go somewhere else. If you want that music that matters, he came to the right spot. Hey Dub, talk to him.
This is not for the weak-hearted. Ever since the beat started, the flow switched up from.
I can't say that, his bicep muscle, it did tear off the bone. Deontay is one of those guys who just, he's a warrior, man, and he wanted to fight and he kept going. So, it wasn't the first time that he went into a fight with him.
Those are the words, of course, of Tate Jones as he conducted an interview with myself personally, and he witnessed that Deontay Wilder, his bicep, was torn off the bone. Okay, that's something that he witnessed. That's something that he stated and commented on about Deontay Wilder. Now, of course, this resprung back up because of Junior Fa. And Junior Fa made a statement also that Deontay Wilder hurt himself in sparring. Okay, he didn't know the extent of how he hurt himself, but it was verified from Tate Jones that it was torn off the bone. Okay, so it was torn off the bone. It was a lot more severe than Junior Fa said, right? Okay. No, one confirmed something that the other guy didn't know, which was Junior Fa. He didn't know what Tate Jones knew. Here's the problem, okay? This was just sent to me in an article, all right? And it says, Deontay Wilder's manager rubbishes bicep injury rumors, okay? He says, Deontay Wilder's manager, Shelly Finkel, recently put an end to rumors surrounding Wilder's injury during training camp. In an interview with the WBN, Finkel talked about the injury. He said, Deontay Wilder banged his arm in training. It was nothing. Who is this guy, Junior Fa? When the time is right, we will give more information on the third fight. We will be making an announcement in the next 2 weeks. When we are ready, we will let you know. But Deontay is focused on the third fight. Most of what is being written now is not worth a response. Deontay wants revenge in the rematch, he added. Okay? So no statement was made from or by the former champ. But according to his manager, Wilder is set to end the silence on the loss and talk about the comeback real soon. Now, okay. Now, I want people to know where I'm coming from. We've got a sparring partner. We have a close friend. And we have a manager. And you heard the saying 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right? Because 2 people were saying the same thing, a sparring partner and a close friend. But the manager himself is rubbing the notion off and calling it rubbish, saying that didn't happen. It was just a bump. Who is this Junior Fa guy? So Shelly Finkel is discrediting Junior Fa from saying what Junior Fa said, and what Junior Fa said really wasn't as bad. Okay? It was more like a generalized comment that Deontay Wilder did hurt himself in training. Now, how much? He didn't verify. He didn't want to go into it, but he made his point known. Next, Tate Jones, okay, verified that it fell off the bone. The bicep was off the fucking bone, okay? Shelly Finkel. Shelly Finkel is like, he banged his arm in training. It was nothing. This is the shit I'm talking about, okay? Now, you got a sparring partner, one of a good friend, and Shelly Finkel. All these people were involved in the camp of Wilder, okay? Something happened to Wilder in training. But let's backtrack, though. We got a counterpunch. Wilder said it happened in the fight. Okay? Not even before the fight. So that's suspicious right there. You don't know when the fuck you hurt yourself. You either hurt it during sparring, in training, or in the fight. Those are two different things. And see, people wonder why, I get heated like I do and start counterpunching because I hear something that don't make sense. I'm hearing three different fucking things. Two are kind of similar. Tay Jones and Junior Fa. Shelly Finkel is discrediting Junior Fa. So you got to ask yourself, who the fuck is really telling the truth about anything? Who's telling the God honest truth and who's being the politician? Okay, because this is some weird shit. How do you turn a bump? I'm sorry. What it is? How do you turn a bang on his arm in training and it was nothing to tearing off the fucking bone? Look, that's a huge extreme, people. Think about what I'm saying. Oh, I just bumped my arm. No, that motherfucker was ripped and torn off. The bicep was torn off my bone. Like, dude, that's no. That's like saying some shit like, oh man, man, I left eggs cooking. I left eggs boiling and it burned my oven a little bit. And another motherfucker saying, oh, no, his house burnt down. Okay, you burnt your stove or your freaking house burnt down. Which one was it? That's the shit I'm talking about. And see, why is Shelly Finkel trying to discredit Junior Fa? What would benefit Shelly Finkel from saying who is Junior Fa? Junior Fa went on Showbiz the Adult and made an exclusive interview on how he hurt himself during sparring, the last day of sparring. Tay Jones I interviewed Tay Jones, and he said the shit was off the bone. Shelly Finkel said it, nah, it's just a fucking bump. He banged it. It ain't nothing. Who the hell is this guy for saying that anyway? So the question you ask yourself, he's getting on Junior Fa, but he should have words with Tay Jones too, because they're saying two different things. Not Junior Fa, because Junior Fa could have looked at something like, oh shit, I hurt myself. Then he could have saw that like, oh, I don't know how bad it was, because I'm not that guy. So I just said that. So why is Shelly Finkel going after Tay Jones? Because Tay Jones was the one that's been documented and gave me the interview and said, yo, it was falling off the bone. It was bad. He didn't know the extent, but it was bad. So why is Shelly trying to hide his shit? I don't understand any of this. You know what I mean? And what it is with Shelly Finkel, he had this to say about all this shit, that Deontay Wilder will come out in the next couple weeks. But what we've heard is definitely got to be cleared up. Because at this point, you don't know who's credible. You don't know if it's Junior Fa, because Junior Fa really didn't say anything outlandish. Then you have Tay Jones, and he specifically told me he's very good friends with Deontay Wilder. Yeah, it was falling off the bone. Now you have Shelly Finkel saying, no, none of that shit's true. Who the hell is Junior Fa? Right? And I don't even know if he heard or seen the interview or watched the interview that Tay Jones had with me. I'm not sure about. I can't speak for any other person or any of those other cats that interviewed him. I can only speak for what he said with my channel. That's why I let you guys listen to it. Right? So this is very confusing. And it gets you to the point where you're damn near like, okay, you don't want to really hear anybody anymore because everybody's trying to discredit everybody else and what the fuck happened with Wilder. And it goes to show you that if it wouldn't have banged Bicep, what was the reason for the loss? Of course, he ain't going to tell you that based on what I was told. But then it's like, okay, what are we really doing? What are we really doing? We are waiting for Deontay Wilder to make a statement. Nothing more, nothing less. If he ain't making a statement, if he's not going to say anything regarding that, it is what it is. But mind you this, okay? now I can understand how a lot of rumors start. You have so many different people got their own perception of what they thought that happened from this moment to this moment. To the point where you have 4 to 5 different stories depending on how many people said what or heard this or said, or witnessed that. That's what you're dealing with. And it's sad because I'm looking at it like, okay, I don't know who's credible at this point. Is Shelly Finkel calling Junior Fall a liar? And if he's calling Junior Fall a liar, he's also calling Tay Jones a bigger liar. Right? So I don't know. I'm gonna clear this up. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I hope to get to the bottom of it. And if I do, you guys will know first. But anyway, that's my counterpunch on everything. You guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.